A lot of people have been asking that I cover certain characters next, and a common request seems to be Noob Saibot. I am a man of the people, but I'm sorry if I contribute to more noob players online. Noob's fastest normal is his 7-frame standing 1, tied with his 7-frame crouching 1, and followed by his 8-frame standing 2. Overall, Noob's attacks are all extremely fast, but they seem to be universally minus on block. Your fastest mid seems to be back 1, a 9-frame poke with pretty good range. Very few mid attacks come out this quickly at all, especially considering it has decent reach and leads to combos. Noob does have a low combo starter, back 3. It's 15-frame startup and very minus on block and hit, while there's nothing he can do to make it safe. It's nice that it exists anyway. He has a faster low and is 12-frame towards 4. It doesn't cancel the special moves, and it's minus 7 on block while recovering point blank. This is technically punishable, but right at the threshold where it's really difficult, and most characters can't punish it at all. For the record, you need a reversal 6-frame attack to punish minus 7 attacks, since the game uses the traditional way of writing frame data. Back 2 is a 12-frame mid which goes impressively far and throws the opponent across the screen on hit. There are no combos out of it, but it seems to be safe. Its good reach means it works in a lot of juggles. But the damage is low compared to any other ender. Towards 2 is a 9-frame high that also has good reach. And the string out of it seems to be great for picking up distant combos or juggles. Towards 3 has insanely short range and a very high looking hitbox. It launches the opponent, allowing for juggles. I think this will be very good for anti-airing as well as some of his corner combos, but it's difficult to combo into. 1-1 is a basic confirming string from his fastest normal. It's minus 5 on block, which isn't great for that sort of thing. 1-1-2 ends with an overhead that's only minus 3 on block. It doesn't jail, but it's fast enough that you can't easily interrupt it, so on block I think you'll just complete the string. 1-1-3 is an alternate ender, with a cancelable kick. The damage overall is quite nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't juggle that well. And it's unsafe on block, so it's not suited to confirming. I think the trick is going into 1-1-3 on hit to increase damage, or 1-1-2 on block for safety. Back 1, 1+3 pulls the opponent close, and it grounds them if they're airborne. This allows for consistent juggles into his specials or fatal blow, I guess. This is also the combo string from his excellent mid, but unfortunately it's very unsafe on block, and you've got nothing safe to cancel into. Back 1, 1+3, 2 completes the string. It's still unsafe but stronger, though still not as strong as the special move cancel. Notably, if it hits as a punish, it gets a crushing blow for big damage. Two 1-2 is a series of punches, with the second hit being low. It's safe if you do 2 or 3 hits, and it's not interruptible. You can cancel the second or the third hit. The third hit launches, which slightly affects your combos. Overall, the damage is quite high. You can naturally juggle out of it on the third hit, but it's not as rewarding as just canceling it mid-screen. But in the corner it leaves Noob much closer, making it a fantastic combo starter. Towards 2-2-1 is a safe, long-range advancing string. Once again, the second and third hit both cancel. On hit only, you can do a final 2 for a last hit that teleports you forward. While it doesn't do as much damage as a special cancel, on block, you might as well buffer it every time, since it'll only come out if the opponent suddenly stops blocking at the third hit. His final string is back 3, 1+3. This is the combo from his low starter, and the side swap could be useful. The low itself is really unsafe on block. And the string is too. If the low hits an opponent who's blocking high, it'll do a crushing blow, which adds damage and sets up a juggle. Unfortunately, Noob doesn't seem to have an overhead presence besides a single overhead string, so I think he'll probably have a hard time landing this against someone who knows the matchup. Starters from weakest to strongest are 2-1, back 1, 1+3, towards 2-2-1, and finally 1-1-3. Which string you want in juggles generally depends on what will even combo from your starter, rather than ideal damage. Noob has 3 shared specials between his variations. Back towards 2 is his Shadow Tackle. It's a bit slow to come out and unsafe point blank, but considering the distance it travels and the fact that it's a mid, it's very strong. It trades really favorably with most other fireballs due to its high damage. But if Noob is hit before his Shadow can connect, it will disappear. Enhancing it tags on an extra hit. The damage increase is negligible and rarely worth a bar. But the enhanced Shadow Tackle has a crushing blow that adds a ton of damage if you've already landed 10 Shadow moves so far in the match. Down back 4 is his Rising Shadow Kick. On the ground, the range is abysmal. It'll rarely work in combos outside the corner. And the damage isn't as high as his tackle. In his juggles, it's a bit more reliable. And in the corner, especially when comboing from towards 3, you can launch the opponent high enough to juggle out of it. Not only will this make powerful combos, it also allows you to land several Shadow Clone attacks off a single opening, good for his previous crushing blow. His final shared special is Teleslam. It tracks the opponent and comes in from below, so it can't easily be interrupted. You can use it to punish fireballs or end combos, even from very far away. It's his highest damage special, and unlike Tackle, it leaves you close to the opponent. That can be good or bad depending on how much you'd like to zone them out. It's a bit slow and extremely unsafe on block, so you've got to be thoughtful about how you combo into it. It can always enhance, but the enhance effect changes based on its variation, so I'll talk about that next section. Seeing Double is Noob's first variation. His back towards 1, Ghost Ball, in this variation is unblockable, does good damage, and briefly seals 1 offensive and 1 defensive bar for the opponent. Unfortunately, it's 42 frame startup, which is abysmally slow even for a fireball. Even if the opponent doesn't jump over it, or slide or teleport or something on reaction to the startup, they can easily duck under it every time. And you can't combo into it at all from any starter. It seems crazy hard to use this against any good opponent, so the high reward for landing it doesn't matter. You also have a Shadow Slide on back towards 3. This is actually quite good, because it's a low with enormous range, and thus goes a long way for controlling the opponent's movement. It's nearly as strong as Shadow Tackle, and it also counts towards the 10 Shadows crushing blow. Because it's a low, you do have a little bit of mix-up pressure with it. Doing 1-1-2 ends in an overhead, while doing 1-1 slide ends in a low. The overhead is slow, so the opponent can always block low then high, but someone unacquainted with Noob might get mixed up here. Unfortunately, Shadow Slide has quite a lot of recovery on block. Slide juggles somewhat more reliably than his other enders, which is nice. Enhanced Teleslam just does more damage in this variation, 160. This seems to be the default enhance, so when they ever add another variation it will probably share this effect. Seeing Double does give you the ability to Teleslam mid-air, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work in air cancels. Noob's other variation is Dark Sabbath. Back towards 1 is significantly faster at 18 frames, but can now be blocked. It can still be ducked and won't do anything to the opponent's meter. Overall, it's significantly more practical and more like a standard Mortal Kombat fireball. You can end his juggles with his back 1 string into fireball to leave the opponent standing, which you might like. Air down back 4 throws a sickle, then teleports to it. I don't know what to make of this move. The angle and speed at which it moves don't seem useful at all to me, and it has no hitbox. Enhancing it adds a down 2 ender, which makes it a little scary to punish and also gives it some combos from jump normals. But it's unsafe on block. The only combo application I can see is this 2-bar. The real draw to this variation is Enhanced Teleslam, which ground bounces and allows for a juggle. This is Noob's only combo extending special in either variation, and it significantly increases his damage output for the meter spent. For both variations, EX Teleslam seems to be the only good way to spend offensive meter, but Dark Sabbath gets so much more rewarded for it it's unreal. This makes this variation a mile better in my eyes. Here are my sample B&Bs. You'll find notes in the description of this video.